just to repeat the welcome to all of you to our academy this evening on the future of AI and manufacturing. And it's absolutely thrilling to see such an amazing group of people supporting Doug and the Matta AI team. I wanted to start off by firstly welcoming the AI Minister, Kanishka Narayan MP. It's fantastic that you've come tonight, and I know people are very much looking forward to what you have to say. So as a preparatory point, I think the first thing I wanted to say is the speed with which we are dealing with this AI revolution is absolutely breathtaking. I'm going to ask for a quick show of hands in the room. How many of you have been playing with Claude Code using Opus 4.6 in the room? Decent range. I think the last 2 months have just been, the speed has been absolutely mind-boggling. And we're dealing with what is a revolution. It is a jagged revolution. So some of it's working and some of it really isn't. But we've moved very, very quickly in 3 months from playing with the chatbots to developing agents that are going out with very, very long-standing tasks and trying to work out what that all means for us. So I think that's very much backdrop for what we're actually talking about tonight. The second preparatory point I would make is that we do have extraordinary strengths in engineering, science, and innovation. Across our universities and our startups and our scale-ups, we are seeing truly remarkable work taking place in deep tech and AI. We all know that while we're very, very good at creating those new technologies, we must ensure that we are equally good at scaling them. And I'll come back to that a little bit later. I want to come back to the academy. So we exist with a key role to create and lead a community of outstanding experts and innovators to help engineer better lives. And this role plays out in 3 ways. We have 3 roles. We are a charity. Everything we do is to put engineering in service of society. We are a fellowship, 1,700 fellows drawn across the cream of British engineering, many of whom are in the room tonight. And we're also a national academy where we provide hopefully grounded, sensible advice to government. Last year, we launched our Strategy 2030 with a very clear vision, and it's expressed very simply. We need to engineer better lives. And I express that in this way, where I don't think engineering is interesting unless it works for people all around the country. And that relies on us as engineers to have a very strong product focus that starts with the problem that we're trying to solve. And I think Matta is a very, very good example of how Doug and the team have thought about that. Very importantly, we understand that the world is changing rapidly through technological innovation, environmental pressures, geopolitical shifts. And engineers, through their focus on solutions, are uniquely placed to respond to those changes and to develop solutions to the challenges they present. More than ever, it's actually vital that we harness engineering and technology to address the challenges that face our world. So let's move on to AI then. We're focusing on AI, and we're specifically focusing on the future of manufacturing. But this sits within a broader context of deep tech. We define deep tech at the Academy as companies that build on the fundamental principles of engineering and science to create novel solutions that are capital, time, and R&D intensive. So being grounded in cutting-edge advances in engineering and science, deep tech offers solutions to very, very complex problems and is actually able to grapple with those problems. And then artificial intelligence is increasingly becoming a cross-cutting foundational capability across all of those sectors. And so that means accelerating innovation in everything such as robotics, healthcare, advanced materials, manufacturing, all the things that the minister and the government are trying to focus on. To give a bit of a bigger picture and where all of this sits, we publish a State of UK Deep Tech report, just come out with our latest report. And that really outlines a sector characterized by ambition and achievement alongside some urgent challenges. So I'm going to run through a few stats for you here, just to kind of set the scene on this. Since 2019, UK deep tech startups have attracted $43.7 billion in venture capital, ranking 3rd globally behind the US and China. Our 50 UK deep tech firms that have crossed the $1 billion valuation or 100 million revenue, growing all the time. So we've got more than 50 and we're getting more and more of them all the time. Deep tech now represents 31% of all UK venture capital funding, triple the share of a decade ago. And academic spin-outs are an absolutely key part of this ecosystem, representing 34% of the deep tech landscape. And then within this report, it's also evident that artificial intelligence is playing an increasingly central role. In 2025, 39% of UK deep tech funding was related to AI. And this reflects the growing importance that I've talked about. But then we know that the global race is accelerating rapidly. China sits at a similar allocation of around 42%. If you go to the US, AI now counts for 77% of deep tech funding, driven in part by obviously very large investment rounds into companies developing foundational models. But France and Germany are also seeing rapid growth in that investment, with a higher proportion of deep tech funding flowing into AI than we currently have in the UK, 65 and 52% respectively. So while we remain one of the UK's leading tech ecosystems, these comparisons highlight the scale and the pace of global investment in AI, with countries around the world rapidly increasing funding. And so the report makes it evident that we're excellent at creating those breakthrough technologies. Now we really need to work out how we are going to scale and deploy those technologies on industrial scale and compete globally. And I'm looking at Lord Mayor because he's in the room, and obviously his committee published an absolutely fantastic report on that. And I'm just going to say a couple of points around this. It is my job, but I am fundamentally an optimist about this country and about the innovation that happens in this country. We have all the elements, we have all the talent, it all exists, and it exists everywhere around the country, not just in the Golden Triangle. And our job now is to not keep talking ourselves down. Our job is to focus on those assets and bring those together and knock down the obstacles and the frictions to join it together to actually expand what we do. So I think a lot of that is around the practical work of just taking away the frictions that exist for companies coming through the ecosystem, which Robert's report highlighted so well. So statistics alone also don't determine success. The real challenge now is how those technologies are adopted and deployed in practice. With growing discourse about the risk that the bubble is going to burst due to organizations experiencing limited return on investments in generative AI, what we've done at the Academy is establish a practical AI program to illustrate what it takes to deliver measurable improvements through AI in all its forms. And I think of this as the really practical work to take this and knit this and plumb this into the everyday infrastructure and services that are going to work for people around the country. So we're focusing very strongly on adoption. We've been telling stories of AI adoption from transport in the West Midlands to social care in Medway to sectoral knowledge coming together to support Barnsley Council, where I was just a couple of weeks ago, working with the Cabinet Office's Test, Learn and Grow team to see how they can use AI to do preventative work for vulnerable individuals. And I loved that session in Barnsley, 50 people around talking in very practical terms, how we're going to get AI to work for ordinary people. We've also been exploring how society engages with AI through what we call People AI Stewardship Summits, a series of public dialogue events hosted across the UK to bring together ordinary people working with people coming through our enterprise hub like Doug, and to make our companies listen to ordinary people to make sure that those solutions actually solve problems for those people. And we will continue to do those stewardship summits across the country. And that brings me on to our enterprise hub. We see the opportunities and challenges of deep tech firsthand through our enterprise hub every day. We support talented entrepreneurs and decision makers to transform really complex, difficult breakthrough engineering innovations into those disruptive spin-outs and startups and scale-ups we need. And And Doug and the team at Matta are a fantastic example. So Doug came through our enterprise hub, and he's one of 600 entrepreneurs that we've supported. We've awarded more than £19 million in grant funding. We've helped create over 6,000 jobs in the UK. And recently, I'm very proud to say we were ranked the #1 startup hub in the UK by the Financial Times and Statista. And crucially, the hub is a genuinely national offering. So we have a network of regional hubs across the UK now in Belfast, Glasgow, Swansea, more recently in Sheffield, Liverpool and Newcastle, and more on the way. And I think I was chatting with the minister earlier. I see the strength of engineering innovation around the country everywhere. We've got fantastic engineering everywhere, and our job is now to support that and grow that. So finally, just to bring us on to AI and the future of manufacturing, we are entering a period of profound transformation. Artificial intelligence has the potential to deliver predictive maintenance, more adaptive and intelligent production, smarter supply chains, entirely new approaches to industrial optimization. We're going to hear a lot more about that tonight. And concepts such as Sentient Factories capture this shift towards manufacturing systems that can monitor, learn, and optimize themselves in real time. Realizing this opportunity is going to require investment in digital infrastructure, data capacity, continued development of engineering and AI talent, and collaboration, obviously, between industry, academia, and government. And with the UK's AI Opportunities Action Plan, the appointment of Chris Dungy as AI champion for advanced manufacturing, and obviously the increased focus on the growth zones that the minister is driving, we see great opportunity. And all of us need to mobilize behind the government on trying to drive that opportunities plan forward. So finally, AI is not simply transforming individual products or services now. The pace of change means that we're now beginning to reshape entire industrial systems and complex workflows, from how factories operate to how supply chains function. For us as a country, this represents a truly significant opportunity. And with our strengths in engineering, research, and entrepreneurship, we have many of the ingredients we need to lead in this transformation. From our perspective, you can look to us to bring together the people, the expertise, the ideas needed to make this happen, supporting the entrepreneurs, convening leaders from across the industry and academia, and providing independent advice. Events like tonight are just such a crucial part of that work, and I know this is going to be a fantastic conversation for the rest of the evening. Thank you all very, very much, and I look forward to the discussions ahead.